Hello friends, today's video we are talking about 4 mistakes that resellers make, and I'm sharing strategies to make sure that you are not doing this. Let me know down below what mistakes you see a lot of people making and what they can be doing differently, or if you're guilty of some of these. I know I am. I'm definitely guilty of some of these. So the first one, and I think this is one of the hardest ones for sure, is buying items that we won't list. It is so hard to not do this, especially for me, especially when I'm at the bins. There's so much stuff and I can convince myself it's a low cost of goods, so I can turn it and I can flip it. Or an item that has a stain or an item that has a hole in it, and then it just sits back in our death pile and never gets listed. Items cannot sell if they are not listed. So the strategy that you can be doing as you go outsourcing to make sure this does not happen to you is have a game plan. For me, it is knowing my data, looking at what my sell-through rate should be. So your sell-through rate is how many items you have sold out of how many items that you have for sale. This puts a number and a rate on how quickly essentially that items are selling at. You can look this up when you're outsourcing on eBay. You just would look up the item and then how many items, how many have sold out of how many that are for sale. You do want to add together the how many have sold and how many are for sale to get a true sell-through rate, but you can quickly do this when you're out and you can quickly look at an average sell price. So what I do is I look at my golden formula for the resellers. That's my eBay. I look at my here we go. I look at my golden formula for resellers and I say, hey, this is a spreadsheet. It's for sale, purchase down below. If you're part of the YouTube Gold members, you get this for free, along with many other perks and courses and stuff as well. But you can come in here and say, okay, how much? This is how much I want to make. I need my sell-through rate to be 15%, and I need my average sale price to be $25, and I have 2,200 items. You can enter in whatever numbers that you want to do. And it's going to tell me exactly what I need these numbers to be when I am outsourcing it, depending on how much money that I want to make, right? If you want to know a little bit more information about this, the purpose of this video is not going over the golden formula for resellers and how it works and why it works. I'll link a video up there going into it. But having these numbers in mind, saying, hey, I'm not going to buy anything unless it has a 15% sell-through rate and a 25% or $25 average sale price. Now, sometimes if it has like a $50 average sale price and a lower sell-through rate, you can make those decisions on the fly. But going in and having a plan is going to help you know, hey, I am not going to buy these items. For me, stains, holes, I don't do it anymore. I know that I'm not going to do it. If it's something that you like and you actually get it listed, then be mindful of that. But if you don't, like for me, it just sits and I never do it. I don't want to do it. So I don't buy anything that has a stain. I have to stop myself from saying, hey, I will just stitch this up really quick, even though I'm a seamstress. I'm not going to do it. So knowing that about yourself and reminding yourself of that when you're out doing it. The next thing is not accepting offers. I see so many resellers not accepting offers or complaining about lowball offers. And here's the thing, friends, your item is worth what somebody is going to pay for it. That's it, right? It is worth, so maybe someone sold it for $100. If you can't find someone who's going to buy it for $100, your item is worth that offer that someone sent you for $50, right? And so 4 things that I do before I decide if it's a low ball. I don't like the term low ball offer. It's an offer. It's a starting off negotiation. You know, people want to get a good deal. I lowball. Some people would consider it lowball. I want to get a good deal. And if someone's willing to sell it for a lower price, yeah, I'm going to try it out. And the platforms that we sell on, they have this as an option, and for other sellers do it as well. So I don't consider anything a lowball offer. I consider it a starting off point for negotiations. But whether there's 4 things that I do, and let me know what you guys do and how you decide when to counter and when to accept. But so many times we don't accept, and then the item sits for a year and you're like, dang, I should have accepted that. So I go through 4 things when I'm like, should I accept this or not? And the first thing is, did I profit, right? So that is kind of important. If it's something, I'm looking for my water. There it is. If it's something that I've had for like 3 years, and at this point, I don't care about a profit. Right? Have I had it for 3 years and I want to get rid of it, right? But that's not me considering it. Typically, I'll just accept those offers. But when I'm like, should I take it or not? It's, did I make a profit? And even if it's lower than I was hoping it was going to be, let's say I'm only going to make a $5 profit. My average cost of goods is $1. If I make $5 on this item and I go buy 5 more items, because my cost of goods is $5, easy math here, friends. My cost of goods is $5. Now I am selling 5 more items, making a profit on those of only $5, but now I'm making $25. Where if you decline or you counter and they don't accept, you're now making $0, right? So consider, did you make a profit and what that actually means in terms of your business? What do comps say? So oftentimes when we are pricing things, we price them really high in hopes that we're going to get this best offer, or we priced them 3 years ago when we listed them and the market has changed. And so I always go through, as I'm like, oh, is this actually really low? I go in to eBay and I look at the recent solds for items similar or the same as mine, and say, hey, what is it actually selling at? And oftentimes I have it listed at like $50 and the last 3 sold at $25, right? Buyers are savvy. I wouldn't be surprised if many buyers are going in and doing this as well. But look and see, is the offer actually reasonable? If the same item sold recently for $25 or for this low offer, then you need to consider taking it. The next thing is, are there others listed? So this is going to depend on what category you're in. I'm in women's clothing. It's highly, highly, highly saturated. So oftentimes, more times than not, there is another item exactly like mine. So if I say no to the offer, the buyers likely are sending offers, especially until you have to buy right away, right? Because we all have unpaid item cases. They're sending offers on the same item to see who's going to take the lowest one. So if I don't take it, they're just going to do it with another buyer. If you have the one and only one, you have a little bit more leverage and a chance that someone is going to pay a little bit more for it, or they're at least not going to be able to go get it from another seller on the platform, right? So that's something to consider. For me, oftentimes it's not a consideration, to be honest. Sometimes in a sizing, right? I'll have one and I'm the only one that has that size. And so I'm like, oh, I can counter, because if they don't get it from me, they're not getting it from anybody else. And then the last thing that I consider in accepting an offer is, am I going to regret this? If I don't decline. I never decline. Even when I had an item for $120 listed and someone sent me a $3 offer, I countered with my lowest, right? It's a starting off point. And oftentimes they will send these lowball offers and they'll come back reasonable, but they will absolutely take it for the $3 if I would have accepted it. You know, they're going to try, and I can't fault them for that. But I always consider, am I going to regret this? So definitely always counter. But am I going to regret? If I counter, am I going to regret this? If I counter for $3 more, is it worth that extra $3, $5, $10, whatever it is, to lose the sale? And for me, more oftentimes than not, it is not worth it. And I'm going to tell you guys a little funny story while I have you here. But I have two other things, including my biggest pet peeve. But as far as offers go, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I was listing some items, and I think it was a women's top, but it was like leopard and shiny and very like 8-year-old girl, like, you know, whatever, glittery and stuff. And she's like, oh, Mom, I want that. Absolutely not her size. And she's like, can I give you $3 for it? And my husband in the background is like, Sarah, you take all offers. Like, you have to take her offer, because he knows more oftentimes than not, I am going to regret the offer. I did not take her offer because I would have lost money, and it didn't even fit her. But the next thing is cross-listing to all the platforms, right? And so we have these amazing third-party softwares now where we can quickly, much quicker than it used to be, put it on multiple different platforms. There's like 30 some odd and growing platforms to put it on. What I hear is, but it's so fast. Like, I can just put it on all these places fast. And let's say it is fast. Let's say you're only doing 30 seconds an item, right? Which is pretty quick. 30 seconds an item, you put it on 8 different platforms. You do this for your 10 items that you're listing a day. That's almost 5 hours a week that you are doing strictly cross-listing. Now, I'm not saying that it's not right, but figure out if it is actually worth your time. I'm going to link a video up here of how to do that. For me, I only only cross list on 2 platforms because the other platforms are not worth my time. It's not worth my time to put them up there. And then ultimately, if you're putting them up on 8 platforms, it's going to sell, hopefully. And then you're having to spend the time to take it off of 7 platforms, which also then adds to it. So consider your time in doing this as well, and if it's actually worth your time. I'll tell you what I do, but definitely make sure to watch this video because my strategy is not going to work. I walk you through how to figure out where and what cross-listing strategy is best for you. What I do is everything goes on eBay first, and I'll show you exactly why, because I do it based off of my data. Oh, I can't show you because I don't have my dashboard pulled up. That's odd. But so I have a SarahStylesLLC Sales and Trends dashboard, and it tracks and manages all of my information. It is for sale. You guys can check out some of my other videos on it. But it looks at my different platforms. And eBay, I have my highest average sale price on eBay, and I also have the highest volume. I make 3 to 4 times the amount of money on eBay than I make on Poshmark. So everything starts there, and then after a week, I give it a chance to sell higher and sell on eBay, and then after a week, it goes to Poshmark. I keep it to 2 platforms for time and I pay a virtual assistant, so for me, it's for money as well. But definitely check out that video as well. So my all-time biggest pet peeve, friends, and if you're not new to this channel, so I'm not going to say it real quick. Before I say it, I want you guys to comment down below what you guys think my biggest pet peeve is. Dun, da, da, da. My biggest pet peeve is listing more items to make more money. And I'm going to tell you why this is my biggest pet peeve, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that resellers are making. And it goes into the golden formula for resellers, and I just came out with this platinum formula for resellers. It goes even deeper into looking at your net. So what we're looking at here is if you can put mathematical equations, and don't stop, I'm going to explain this to you, and this is a formula, or this is a spreadsheet that you can purchase so you can enter in your numbers without having to manipulate and do all the math. I geek out about that. I love doing it. I loved building this spreadsheet for you guys. So excited for you guys to have it, but you don't have to know. I just want to quickly explain what it's doing so you kind of understand what it is. So you have the platinum formula for resellers, which is essentially taking your gross revenue, right? So your gross revenue is your top number of how much money that you make, and up here, that is our golden formula for resellers. To figure out your gross revenue is essentially how many items that you've sold in the month times how much they're selling for. Your sell-through rate, right, times how many items you have available, times your average sale price. And so here's the thing that most resellers are missing is they're only focusing on this one variable, right? If you have an equal sign, this side is the same as this side. So if you want your gross revenue to go up, these 3 variables, one or all 3 of them need to go up. So yes, increasing your active listings will increase your gross revenue. However, increasing your active listings also means spending more money on items. It also means spending more time on sourcing those items, on photographing those items, on listing those items, right? There are 2 other variables, your sell-through rate and your average sale price, and I'm going to show you right here in the numbers. Let's keep my active listings the same. If I can increase my sell-through rate from 15% to 20%, so that means that of the 2,200 items that I have for sale, now 20% of those are selling in a month. Come down here and look at this gross number, and what happens? It goes from 9,900 to 13,000 without any more listings. Now, y'all, I totally geek out and I get so excited about this because these are easy ways that you can increase your business and increase your revenue without buying more items. Average sale price, let's say we put this up to, I'm going to do it up to 40 just so that we can really see the difference in the math. But you can say, I was at 9,900, I go up to 40. Again, I'm at 13,000 without increasing my average sale price. Now you come over to the platinum formula for resellers, friends, and make sure to follow me and subscribe and hit that notifications because I'm going to be getting deep this year into your net revenue. Last year I talked a lot about your gross revenue, but now as we're getting into the recession headed that direction, right? It's not officially called that yet, but as we're headed that direction, people have less money, things are tighter, our margins as resellers are going to be getting slimmer. So yes, it's going to be about our growth, but it's also going to be about our net revenue. So let's say that we have all of our gross is the same, but we can find a way to decrease our COGS from $4 to $3, and now our net has actually gone up. Now we are actually making more money. This is why it's my biggest pet peeve is you don't have to list more to make more. You can work with other variables that are going to actually bring you home more money besides shopping more. If you guys liked this video, YouTube also thinks you'd like this video. I'll link a playlist down here of how to make money reselling. And then you guys do make sure to hit that subscriber button to be notified of any new content and join my memberships to learn how to make money reselling.